This is Paranormal Short Session 30 by Keith Evans. I'm going to dedicate this whole Paranormal Short Session 30 to John Gibbs Ruan, R-U-A-N. And I'm going to stay at his tombstone for the entire Paranormal Short Session 30. And I'm at the Chestnut Street Cemetery in Apalachicola, Florida. And he's got a really nice footstone. Today is Monday, the 25th of September, 2023. I haven't picked up any unexplained cold areas near or around. It's like a tree here that I'm checking out. Got a lot of trees in this area, two of which have been cut down around Mrs. Clark or Mrs. Bell's grave. There's one here, one was cut down over there. So I haven't seen anything that looked abnormal as far as cold or abnormally warm. It's one of those things where you look and sometimes you find a cold spot that moves and then it just disappears on you. So if a ghost does draw energy or a spirit does draw energy, it doesn't last that long. You gotta be right there to get it. That's just the stump of the palm tree, so that's not paranormal. All right. Turn this off. That was my C5 thermal imager. Yeah, if the pictures have a mirror image, that's me, not the flare. The flare works fine. It's just very hard to take a picture of the screen of the flare without getting the mirror image of whatever's behind you, or I guess the reflection of what's behind you. It's kind of mirrored out onto the screen of the C5 flare thermal camera. All right. John Gibbs Ruan, born in Frankfort, Pennsylvania, January 5th, 1798. Died in Apalachicola, October 28th, 1868. He is roughly 70 years old. That's lived to be a right old age for the 1868s. Got a really nice footstone. Mr. John Gibbs Ruan's footstone is bigger than most people's gravestone. All right, I'm going to turn on my Obelisk 5B and ask you some questions, Mr. Gibbs. Your neighbor, Mr. Currier, likes cake. Do you like cake too? I'll turn this on. Turn it on. Shows the ABC icon in the upper left-hand corner. Does Mr.
Follow on.
Let me see if I can see my follow off. Follow off. What do you mean by follow off? Do you like cake? Do you follow Mr. Currier? And is that often? Off could be, is it OFF? Were you trying to get often? Let's follow off. Hey, excuse me for a minute, Mr. Ruan. I'm going to run over and see if Mr. Currier's in town today. Mr. Currier, if you're in town, I know we talked to you last week, but would you mind answering just a short question for me if you have the energy? I just wanted to know, what type of cake do you like? Like what type of, say, angel food cake or homemade cake, or I guess that's all they had when you were alive. What flavor cake? What type of icing? Could you tell us a little bit about that? Mr. Curry. And if you like all types of cake, chocolate, vanilla, just say all, A-L-L. Well, my favorite cake, I like that, what they used to call buttermilk or butter pecan icing with vanilla cake. I always liked that the best when I was a kid. Not getting any response from Philip Currier. Sorry, Mr. Currier, about spelling your name wrong. It's Currier. Went out a lot of the posts last week on both Instagram and Facebook. I spelled your name wrong. And probably on YouTube. Sorry about that, Mr. Curry. Hey, not getting any responses, so... Alright, we'll head back over. I just wanted to follow up on that since we were close by. Hey, Mrs. Bell. Alright, back to JGR. Mr. John Gibbs Ruan. Alright, Mr. Ruan. This is some elaborate type. Your footstone has a base, and that base is part of the actual grave cradle. The grave cradle goes all the way under for the base, first base, and then the second base of your tombstone. That's pretty cool. Let's go over here and show the back of it. In the back, you can see that it's got a 2 bricks, at least above ground, type grave cradle. That the first full slab of a grave cradle is, and then the second slab, which supports the tombstone here. That's pretty cool. You can see from the side here. All right, anyone building up energy? Hey, does anyone that's here today know if last week the gentleman that we talked to, Mr. Currier, was he the town baker? I know that they used to have a bakery in Apalachicola when I wrote the book about the Hayes family, and Pat Hayes, they used to say he used to walk to the bakery, which was right across the street from where he lived. Well, at least what they call Market Street today, right across the Market Street. No response.
Am not.
Oh, am not. Let me turn so you can see that. Okay, he's not a baker. Well,
Disturb.
am not and disturbed. I can't see it from here. Let me go to the other side where I was getting good photos earlier.
Got.
Well, disturb, fuzzy, not. It's hard to see it. Disturb is S-T, or S-I, correction, D-I-S-T-U-R-B. Fuzzy is F-U-Z-Z-Y. And got, G-O-T. I'm getting such a mirror image. Can't see a damn thing. This is unusual. See, it's very cloudy. I can get, see how cloudy it is? I went around the full circle. On a sunny day, at least I can see the screen if I put my back towards the sun. Now today, I can't see any of this. Well, fuzzy was F-U-Z-Z-Y, got, G-O-T, head, H-E-A-D. I guess I invited everybody in. See if that helps any. Don't look like it. I'm sorry for the horrible images that you can't even see the face of the obelisk. Yeah. So I had to make as much shade as I could. Maybe the sun will come out and we'll be able to see it later on. That's the best I can do. I can't control the weather. There's some blue sky over there. The rest of it is just a glary overcast. So let's get back to you, Mr. John Gibbs. Apparently, Mr. Currier is not a baker. That's what I got from those words. The other words, fuzzy. A fuzzy chicken from the when I did the book, The Hayes House Ghost for People 2, when I was doing the paranormal research. In the Mary room, and that's the back room, kind of like right up over the front or back porch on the southwest side of the Hayes house. That room had a fuzzy chicken on the, I guess you could say, wall. And the ghosts of spirits were talking about that. It almost looked like the chicken had fur and not feathers, so anyway. That's where the fuzzy comes from. Got head. Yeah. When I asked any ghost of spirit, I guess I got a bunch of ghost of spirits that were kind of a little unruly. So, get what you asked for. Back to Mr. John Gibbs Ruan. Pronounce your name for me using the Ominous 5B. That way I'll hear it. Go ahead, I got it up to my ear. Pronounce your name if I'm pronouncing it wrong. If it's Ruan, then just say yes. I know run would be R-U-N, and A-N is Ann, so Ruan seems to be the proper way of pronouncing it. But they're like French words that are pronounced totally different. So maybe it's a French word. All right, well, it seemed like I was getting most of my words when I was standing in the back here. Since we can't see the screen of the Obelisk 5 for any type of evidence for you to see at home because you're just getting glare no matter where I'm at. The mirror image is pretty much canceling it out. I'll just ask Mr. Ruan. See, there was a tree here that got cut down. Now, if that tree would have kept on growing, it would have displaced Mr. Ruan's grave. Maybe it did and they repaired it, but... So that was one there, palm tree. This looks like a cedar tree like that one over there. So that was 3. And then we got 4. And then 5, this one here. 5 trees around this little plot. That looks like an edge marker there. And I think that's what this one here was. Instead of having a border all the way around, they put a stone between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 graves. They could have had 6, 7 counting that one and counting this one here. So maybe even 8. I don't know. They could have squeezed another one in there, I guess. So, all right, it's nice and cool for me to be in the shade, and I'm saddened that I can't because of the weather, I'm not being able to see the face of the Obelisk 5. If the gentleman that makes the Obelisk 5, is there any way you can make a screen that would be more user-friendly for photos and pictures that are being taken during the daylight hours? I just wondered. Make it so it can be user-friendly to both. Let's see what we got. We're at about 15 minutes and 29 seconds. All right,